And we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to another day of Cooking with Carl. Today, we will be making lemonade with nachos, nacho cheese, of course, on top, as well as um, garlic butter, garlic shrimp, and beef strips. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to start off with the lemonade, methinks, so that we don't, have a hot stove when trying to cut the lemonade underneath the camera here. We're gonna be squeezing lemonade ourselves. We're gonna be making the nacho cheese ourselves, melting it ourselves. We're gonna be frying up the shrimp and the beef all ourselves. We're not gonna be making the tortilla chips ourselves. I bought those pre-made. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. In any case, switch over to the big food camera, and we'll start off with the lemonade. So, I mean, you can use pre-made, pre-squeezed lemon juice from the bottle. There's nothing wrong with that. But I figure, hey, I'm going to be doing a cooking stream. I might as well take the time to show y'all how it's done. Um, Straight up. I have noticed a difference in taste from the bottled stuff. I do prefer the fresh squeeze stuff a bit more, perhaps unsurprisingly. I'm not sure exactly what they do to um, the lemon juice itself, whether they like add preservatives or flavorings or whatever. I don't know. But take the lemon, slice it in half. Now you don't slice your fingers. I like to hold it like so, end to end, and then go downwards so that I make sure that I don't have my fingers underneath. So we've got 7 lemons, so we're going to be squeezing 3.5 of them. Because, like always, if you are new here and you are not aware, I do make every single recipe twice. So if you show up in the middle and you are interested in following along, you may do that. All right, so like I said, we got 7 lemons. So we're going to have 7 lemon halves. Here's 6 of them. Now, I don't know exactly how much juice we're going to get out of all this, but we'll see. That's the fun of doing it live. Any mistakes you make are captured for all the internet to see, for all posterity. All right, so if you have a fancy juicer like this, like I do, my father was kind enough to acquire. This one's made for oranges, but I mean, I guess it works for lemons too. But if you don't have it, one of the best ways I found is to squeeze the lemon like this. To squeeze it like that, because you don't want all the pulp in there. So like over some sort of strainer thing. Of course, if you have a lemon squisher like this, lemon juicer, squish it down all the way down, and then just kind of grind it around. Get all the sides. See how like I'm pushing the sides on the top here? You want to just break up all the pulp, because where the lemon juice comes from, like you've got the pulp, which are little cells or whatever, full of lemon juice. I'm not actually, is each little pod, like if you've ever torn apart an orange or a lime or a lemon or like a grapefruit, other sorts of citrus, you know that like it's a bunch of little pods, like the pulp contains the juice. So I wonder if each of those is a single cell. So yeah, you should see like this. It's all squished out. Now you can keep the peels. If you want to throw one in your garbage disposal, make sure it's all ground up nice and good. It'll make your garbage disposal help it feel or help it smell a bit better. You definitely want to strain. I mean, these strain holes are a little bit big. I have seeded lemons, so we might not. I might have to run it through a strainer again, a finer strainer, once I pour it into the actual the receptacle where we'll be mixing up all of the lemonade. I wish I had some mint leaves. I can mix it like use a garnish, mint leaf garnish. So yeah, roll it around there, get it all nice and good, really pulverize it. You can squeeze the sides as well as you run it along there so that the ribs of the juicer got as well. Get all the pulp, squish it out because you're just trying to squish all the juice out of the little pulpy things, all little pulpy buddies. So we should get a decent amount of juice. I gotta be careful. Mine's got it's got a little spigot here. I gotta make sure no pulp gets in there, or as little pulp as possible. One thing I have found when you're squishing a bunch, the pulp can actually serve to drain, to clog the juice's ability to go down. So you might need to get in there and unclog those things. Good luck, have food. I'll try, Chi-Chi. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Hi, Heidi. There's a little kitty over there. I'd move the camera, but that's too rough. Hi, kitty. You know what? Let's do it. Hi, kitty. Little black kitty. Look at her. She's so cute. Hey, come here. Come here. She doesn't like me. She's afraid of me. Whoop. There we go. Sorry. Had to do the kill a cat break there. All the citrus juice is getting on my fingers. Yeah, see, it's starting to get clogged up here. Just kind of let it all drain. I might have to empty it out in the sink here in a moment if it's continuing to get too clogged up. Yeah, I think we're getting to that situation there. It's really easy for it's like almost like the pulp is designed to bridge the gap and like make a vacuum. All right, so we'll take the throw this there. Oh shoot, jumped it in the wrong sink. Well, without the garbage disposal, I'll have to fish that out later. So there we go. We can continue juicing ourselves our lemons. There we go. We have a whole stack of lemon halves. Here's lemon number 4, lemon half number 4. Nice and squishied. It's making a decent amount of lemon juice. Nice and lemony. Can you smell that, chat? No, you can't. Haha. It smells like lemons. This is like a workout here. There we go. What? Can I have that back though? I need that. Oh, it'll survive. It's 4 more halves. I'm gonna have to strain all this into the all this refuse because you do get a bunch of little pulp in there, and I don't mind a little pulp, but I'm trying to make this look fancy and try it. Hey, Captain Ultros, we just need someone to make smell-o-vision a reality, then we can smell it. Yeah, I wish. Just like throw a lemon against the wall, and if it breaks, then you'll know what I'm smelling right now. Ah. So how you been, Captain Ultros? Are you excited? Will you be cooking along, or are you at work like usual? Wait, it's Saturday. Do you work on Saturday? I don't know. We're making some nachos, if you didn't catch the title, and some lemonade. I figured I'd make the lemonade first, so that way the nachos can be nice and hot when they are eaten. Because I really don't want to make the nachos and then have the lemon or have the nachos sitting and cooling down while I'm making the lemonade. There we go. Nice and juicy. No cooking along for you today? I don't think I've ever gotten a cook along, which is fine, as long as people show up and enjoy the content. Let me just rinse my hands off real quick. Oh, rub the mic. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so we've got our strainer. Try not to strain yourself, folks. And this thing actually has a spigot to pour from. Pour that nice and slowly. Okay, let's move it over here where y'all can see it better. Swill that around. It's a rather fine strainer. Doot 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 doo. Nice and pulpy. Or pulp free, as it were. My dad told me to put it in the compost. So I went to slap it in there and he picked it up right as it did and it slopped into where it was. So great. So we got this, we got the lemon juice. So now we make it into lemonade. Now, I am going to be very honest. I didn't look up a recipe for lemonade specifically because I kind of don't trust lemonade recipes just in general because you make them and then you just have to adjust for your tastes anyway. Because all the recipes are like, here, add this and this, but then add water or sugar to taste. So we're just kind of wing it. So I get a little measuring cup. We got like this much in there. We'll see. We'll throw that in there. I'm working with limited space as always. Some of that water in there. And we'll mix it around. Where'd my spoon go? There's my spoon. And let's see how that tastes. Still very, very sour. I'm not surprised. I didn't add that much. Because you want to always make sure that it's too lemony to start out with. Because if you're trying to make something that you like and you add too much sugar or too much water, you can't add more lemon juice. Did I? I was supposed to save one of those lemon halves for the second serving. So I guess we're just getting a little bit less lemonade the second time around, but that's fine. Could you imagine if they did make smell-o-vision? Like, how would I mean that would how would you even do that? Like, you could have all sorts of different scents. I don't know how scentology works or something, anything like that, but all these different scents, and then you have to like release them into the air. And that would be awful, like a scent that would like linger or something. Getting there. I think it needs more water and sugar. It is both too strong and a little too sour for my tastes. Come on, Droid Cam, you can do it. You can keep up. Still too sour. Add a bit more sugar. Because you don't want to get into the vicious cycle where you, oh, too sour, more sugar, too sweet, more water, not flavorful enough, too, more sugar, and then you just start going around, 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 and you just can't. Maybe a bit more sugar, and then it should be done. What if there's some culinary person out there who's like, oh my god, you are messing the proportions up so much? Nice and mixy. Imagine it's like a machine that translates the scent particles it receives, catches into a signal of some sort, which then gets translated back to some kind of machine, and translate the signal in an attempt to replicate the scent. But yeah, that's how it would work. But yeah, it would be really hard to implement because you constantly have to like recharge scent stuff. Gordon Ramsay's not dead, dude. What? Not unless I checked. Oh. Did you think he was dead? That should do it. It was a joke, sorry? Okay. It's spinning in his grave. Spinning. Rolling over. Okay. So, next up, we are going, now that that is done, the lemonade part is done. We're going to try some raspberries. Make some raspberry lemonade. Where is my bowl? It's right here. My bowl's right here. But let me, I'm going to give you right back. I'll rinse off this. No, isn't it probably coming up with a new branch of censorship? Yeah, so you don't like broadcast poop smell or whatever. Yeah, I read the book Ready Player One. Saw the movie too, but I read the book. And one of the things, of course, Ready Player One is about um, a society, a future society in which everyone escapes into a virtual world. Basically, the best virtual reality ever. There's paper on the bottom. And yeah, he mentions the main character Wade mentions that he at one point he goes to an area. Ow. And he turns his smell-o-vision on. I don't know what's called smell-o-vision. But he turns it on and he says, usually I keep it off because lots of jokesters love to code some pretty gnarly smells into their areas. Oh, that was kind of funny. Very good. The book had very good world building. So I don't know. My dad gave me this masher. I have no idea what its original intent or use is for, but it seems to be doing a good job at squeezing this, mashing this stuff, mashing the raspberries. One of the nicer ways, which unfortunately we do not have, to get juice out of stuff like this, is to use cheesecloth, which is like a finely it's like cloth. It's got strong fibers in it. But it's it's got holes in it, of course. It's like a weave of cloth. You can pour juice in there and squish all the juice out of the pulp. You put pulp in there and squeeze all the juice out, rather. But we have this strainer, so we'll use that. Yeah, the pulp is barely coming out. So one thing you can do, the juice is barely coming out of the pulp. You can use your spoon to push down. Come on, Pulpy. Yeah, cheesecloth would be really good for this. But we neglected to get some, so I'm just doing this. I'm going to push that mash in there. Squeeze all of it out. Squeeze the juice out. Do-do-do. All right, let's dump this out in the compost. Okay. Put this off to the side. Stir this up. Look at that. It's getting that nice red color. Ooh. That's raspberry-y. All right. Let's get a glass here. It's a little full, but that's fine. Well. Whew. We're going to put some ice in that later. Oh, we got some goo on the floor. That's fine. Now look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Let me call it and show you. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that? Doesn't that so? Doesn't that look so appetizing? I still got the sour lemon taste on my tongue. It's been crippling me. I'm sorry. And then we can maybe throw a couple raspberries in there. We'll put it off to maybe 3. No, 2. I always see in the fancy pictures it's always 2 for some reason. And we'll just put that off to the side. We'll put some ice in it later, and then serve it up. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that good stuff? See it? I think I'll just drink the extra right now. Little appetizer. Ah. I spilled all over myself. Woo! Tangy. That's good. If I do say so myself. Really good. All right, so next up, we're on to the main course. It's been a half an hour. Wow, that took longer than I thought. Okay. I got to remember to take pictures of my black raspberry lemonade and my nachos when I do it so I can post it on the Instagram. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to kind of clean up a little bit over here. The sugar doesn't need to be here. We're going to cook the shrimp, then we're going to cook the beef, and then we're going to cook the nacho cheese, and then we're going to combine it. All right, so first things first. First things first, clean the sugar out of the that you managed to get in your frying pan. I'll be right back real quick. I'm back, folks. So I made a minor blunder when I purchased the shrimp a few days ago. I should have just put them. They come frozen. I should have just put them directly into the fridge and had them thaw. But I didn't because I'm a fool. And so I took them out yesterday of the fridge. But that's okay. I just put them in some cold water to thaw. But what that means is they're wet, and you don't want wet shrimp when you're gonna fry them up in garlic. You want dry shrimp because it'll start messing with, you're kind of boiling it in garlic butter. So one thing you do, pat them dry with some paper towel till they're nice and dry, or dry enough. They shouldn't have water dripping off them. You got a little bit on them, it's not the end of the world. You want to make sure you're using a stronger paper towel, though. You don't want your paper towel falling off and sticking to the shrimp. So this is raw stuff, so I'm gonna wash my hands. You want to treat raw meat as if it's like poison. You don't want to be handling raw meat and then touching your eyes or nose or other stuff. You do not want your raw meat to get cross-contaminated with anything. All right. So, back we go. Let's melt, say, about a tablespoon of butter. Wait. I almost did this in the wrong order. Oh, goodness me. I need the beef. I wanted to cut the beef up first so that I can just have it ready for when I need it. So I'm not going to do ground beef. No. I am going to do stir-fry beef, like strips of beef. So I got some stir-fry beef from local Meyer. If you're a Midwesterner, you know. If you're a Midwesterner, you are very much familiar with Meyer. So I just got some relatively cheap, $5 for this, which it's a fair amount. It's gonna make more than enough, I think, for the both of us for 2 servings. So, not gonna use my paring knife. I'm gonna use a steak knife here to slice it up. I am using the cutting board that I used to cut the lemons. Okay, that's okay. Getting lemon juice on your beef, I'm fine with that. I mean, your lemon, your juice, your lemons, your beef might smell like and taste like a little like lemons. That's fine. I like a little lemon flavor with my nachos. That's okay. But never ever cut raw meat on a surface and then use that surface to cut vegetables and stuff like that. You can technically get away with it if you're going to cook the vegetables afterwards, but even then, that's pushing it. That's pushing it. Okay, so we got this beef. I'm just gonna get like half of it. There we go, half of the beef. So again, if you're joining us just now, I am making 2 portions of each recipe. So if you are afraid you've missed anything, don't worry. We'll be starting again, so you will be able to follow along. All right, so I'm going to cut this up into nice little strips. See, it's kind of stripped already, but I mean, we want this to kind of be bite-size stuff. Like this is made, like it said, for stir fry, so it's made to be it's nice and tender. It's made to be chewed up and eaten. I kind of want with a fork and chopsticks or whatever you use. I kind of want it to be nice, like steak tip type, where you can get like a whole thing on a chip. So I am touching this beef. Notice I will not you're not supposed to touch your nose anyway when you're cooking because you transfer germs from yourself to the food. But you want to make sure that you're definitely not touching your eyes and nose during cutting meat because you'll be potentially transmitting bacteria and other disease causing pathogens directly into your body by way of your nose or your mouth or your eyes. Because not a lot of people realize this, but your eyes do have a more or less direct route to the inside of your body. Your tear ducts, for one. Again, not a lot of people know this, but your tear ducts are not where your tears come out of. Those come out of your lacrimal glands. But your tear ducts they're ducts. They carry liquids from your eyes directly into your nose. So that's why, if you've ever wondered why you have to blow your nose when you're crying, it's because your nose is full of tears. The more you know. So yeah, I am washing my hands again because I just touched that raw meat. I was being careful not to touch the handle of the knife or the cutting board to the meat itself so that I could just use the knife and the cutting board to throw that in. Stay, lemons, stay. So now that the beef is ready, the shrimp is ready, we're going to take about a tablespoon of butter, throw that in, and we are making garlic butter. So let me show you. We're not using garlic powder. You could use garlic powder. I always prefer fresh garlic. Really cheap at the store. I got it for like 49 cents a head, You only need a clove, so garlic does last you a decent amount. It's a pretty good seasoning to put on a lot of different savory dishes. So I'll let that melt. My father procured an extra rubber scraper after I broke the last one. It's a lovely color. It's a little known fact that food prepared with orange utensils tastes 20% better than food prepared with any other utensils. Don't ask me. Don't look that up. Don't ask me where I got it from. Doesn't matter. So you'll take a clove. Clove is just, one little giblet. Make sure it's all the dry stuff is, peeled as you can to get to the nice and juicy part. There we go. Garlics like ogres. They have layers. You want to peel away the layers until you get to the good stuff. Now, this is a garlic press. You put the garlic in here. Boop, flip it over. All right, melts in the butter here. Medium to low heat. And then you got this, and you squish it. Sprays all the garlic juice, all that good stuff. And then you just scrape all the stuff off the end. And then put that right in your your butter. You want to stir that around. Get all that nice garlic buttery goodness all around there. There we go. There we go. Hey, Purple and Shy, welcome in. We're making some nachos. Hello. We already made some raspberry lemonade. That was some good stuff. So, We're making some garlic shrimp. So we're just going to put the shrimp in. We're going to let that fry. Regular shrimp, most beef, most meats, they start out a pink color, as we saw with the beef. Here you can see the beef is very pinky red. And then as you cook them, they turn dark, they turn gray, brown. Shrimp is the opposite. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Shrimp starts out gray and it will turn pink as you cook it. How have you been, Purple and Shy? Are you... Hopefully I'm not going to make you so hungry that you need to dip out again. So we're just going to stir these around. Make sure to flip them over every once in a while. Again, until they're nice and pink. I'm doing all right. I'm cooking. We made some raw raspberry lemonade before. It tasted really good. I had some. I screwed up. I bought 7 lemons. I was supposed to do 3.5 lemons in this one and then 3.5 lemons in the other one, but I forgot about the half, so I just put 8 halves of lemons, 4 whole lemons in there worth of juice. So it was more than I anticipated, but that's fine. We're going to make some blackberry lemonade. I was asking everybody in the Discord as well. I know you're not in it, but I was asking everybody what kind of lemonade they wanted. So I got strawberry, raspberry. One person said muddled mint. That sounded pretty good, but unfortunately I didn't have any mint. I'd like to do that. I might do that if I'm still around in like the summer or springtime when the mint grows wild. But I was like, you know what? I saw blackberries at the store right next to the raspberries. And I was like, I'll try raspberry and I'm going to try blackberry. Because, you know what? It's my stream. And I want to try new things with my stream. Because I have the ability. All right, so we're starting to see it's frying up. Turning a little bit more pink. Starting to get crusted with some garlic. So if you're doing it for nachos like this, you want to get the smaller shrimp. You know, the higher the number of shrimp per pound, the smaller the shrimp are. Each individual shrimp is. So just mix these around. You're getting that nice garlicky taste. I've got a bowl here. Again, this plate was used for meat, so we'll keep that away from everything else. Plate I use for raw meat. I've got this bowl here. When I'm done with this, I'll put it into. I'm not going to pour out all the garlic butter just yet. Do. Let's keep the meat away from the heat, or the cutting board away from the heat. So it's kind of turning yellowish as well as pink. That's the garlic and the butter frying in there, I do believe. So we can just try to keep as much as the butter in there. That's nice and cooked. So we're just going to put all of the beef right into here. And we're just going to fry that up right there. So yeah, like we said before, starting out pink, turning brown. And it's not usually normal to cook or fry beef in garlic butter. I got it here. We're gonna get the butter, like the garlic butter flavor anyway. Might as well, right? Gotta make sure to mix them all up. Get all sides cooked. I'm thinking when I do mine, I might want to try to cut them more lengthwise to make sure I get more strips instead of beef chunks, looking like beef for stew. All right, let that cook for a bit. I'll just throw this in the sink to get it out of my way. Remember, you should treat beef and raw meat as poison. Put this garlic away. Up there. Oh, that smells good. Normally, if you're just eating it straight up, you put some salt and pepper in it. But we're going to be slathering it with nice salty cheese sauce, so that won't be necessary. There we go. That should be pretty darn cooked. Gotta try to prevent myself from just straight up eating it right now. We'll let that cool off a bit. And now we'll have the grand finale, the cheese sauce. So we'll take your saucepan, which is way over here for me. I managed to spill sugar into it on the first. I managed to spill sugar in it on the first go around when I was making lemonade. So, oops, I had to go wash it. Okay, honestly, this is what I'm most worried about. Cheese sauce can be temperamental. It's quick and easy if you do it right, but if you screw up, like I said, can be a little temperamental. All right, I can't help myself. I gotta try one of these beef chunks. So this is just cooked in garlic butter, nothing else. That's good. That's good beef. Okay. All right. So I've made this a couple times before. First time I failed miserably. It all separated out. Didn't work. Second time it did work. Kind of. It was really, um, it was really thick. So, and I think one of the problems with it being so thick, or why it was so thick, was because I used pre-shredded cheese. Now, shredded cheese, when you get it at the store, has like an anti-clumping agent added to it, so it doesn't all clump up and become a block of cheese again. So, they recommend you shred your own. So we're making a half batch. This is where we're going to get actual measurements and stuff. So we're just going to grate this cheese. So this is 4 ounces of cheese. This is a half of an 8 ounce block. The recipe calls for 8 ounces, but we'll make it a half, of course. So grating it will help it integrate with the rest of it better. If we didn't grate it, it would have a hard time melting And sometimes when you just shove like a block in, something, right next to it, the stuff right next to it is really cheesy, and then like the stuff that it's not mixed with doesn't get cheesy at all, and those things have a hard time mixing. So I'm just grating this cheese up using this cheese grater. Good. Come on. You know what? I don't want to graze my knuckles against it, so I'll just tear it up manually. I'm running out of space to put stuff. Like, I can't put it on there. That's a raw meat thing. Because again, grating the cheese is not for aesthetics. Like, it's not like we're putting the grated cheese onto the nachos itself. So then we'll be like, oh god, what is that? Ugh, gross. Okay. So this is all grated. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So we're going to need butter, flour for thickening, milk for thinning, and cheese. And the recipe also optionally has some cayenne pepper, which is right here, which we'll add. I don't think I'll do it. We'll see. My father has requested it for spiciness. So we got some milk. Am I putting it on the floor? Yes. It's fine. So we're going to need, for a half batch, we're going to need a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of flour, a half cup of milk, 4 ounces of cheddar, and a 1/16 of a tablespoon, or of a teaspoon of cayenne. So just a touch. All right. So we're going to melt a tablespoon of butter. That's a tablespoon. For medium to high heat. Nice and waiting, and it will be like, I'm making a small batch. It will be on the bottom like this. Don't worry if it's like, oh, it's not even covering the bottom. The amount of cheese and milk we'll put in will definitely make it like increase in volume. So it will seem like, oh god, because normally you don't want to cook something if it's just like barely covering the bottom of the pan. I don't think I'm going to put the beef juice on the nachos. I am all for stretching out a bit and experimenting, but I'm not going to go too crazy. Blackberry lemonade, good, but I'm not going to be pouring beef juice in the nacho cheese. All right, so that's melted. Whisk in flour. Whisk. Where'd my whisk go? I had a whisk. Oh, there it is. Whisk in the flour and the cayenne pepper. So the flour, we're going to have 1 tablespoon of flour. Just one. A single tablespoon. Teaspoon, half a tablespoon, a tablespoon. So my father is gluten-free. So I will be making this gluten-free. Just a touch of cayenne. Boop. Mix that around. Oh, this whisk is like too big. Barely even get it. All right, so then we're going to whisk in the milk gradually, and we're going to bring it to a simmer for a couple minutes. Oh, wait, no, the flour is a couple minutes of cooking. Again, it's stuck to the bottom. You don't want it to burn. It's not a lot, I know, but it'll get there. It'll get to be a lot. There we go. I do have gluten wheat flour as well, so we're going to do a little bit of a comparison. All right, that's been a couple minutes. And then we're going to slowly add in the milk, which is a half a cup of milk. If I have the coordination to do that. Whoop. Half a cup of milk. Can always add a little bit more later if we need to. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit here. Now it's going to get nice and chunky a little bit. That's fine. That's normal. I think it's the flour and the milk complexing. It should all separate back out. Emphasis on should. You want to bring that to a simmer. You want to break up all those clumps. I might want to have added it in a little bit slower. You don't want to throw it all in, from my experience, because then you'll get chunks in there, and you don't want chunks of flour butter floating in your nacho cheese. So from what I understand, I think bringing it to a simmer helps cut back on the flour flavor. I'm not entirely sure on that. So there, now it's not all chunky. It's getting thick. It's getting thick. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like, because like you put the cheese in and it gets even thicker. And I don't like that. And I might add some more milk in the end, just in an attempt to thin it out. There we go. We've got a nice... Actually, I did spill some. Let's see if I can't just add a little bit more milk to the equation. Oh, it's starting to simmer. And again, this is using gluten-free flour, so that we might see a difference when we do it with regular wheat flour in a bit. So there we go. You see it's starting to simmer there. It's starting to simmer. We're going to turn the heat way down. Way down. And I'll let it cool down a bit. Because you do need it to be hot to melt the cheese, in. But if it's too hot, I think you'll start cooking the cheese, I want to say, and it'll all separate out, and it'll be a complete, absolute disaster. Oh, shoot. Didn't it say slowly add the cheese? No, it didn't. So there we go. The cheese should be merging with the buttermilk flour mixture and making a nice nacho cheese experience. Again, this is pretty thick. Like it's not difficult to stir, but it is giving me some resistance, which is not really what you want for nacho cheese. Yeah, you want it to be nice and drizzly. So I'm going to add a bit more milk. Stir slowly so you don't slosh it all out before it's integrated in. Like I just did there. There we go. We got the nacho cheese. It still is pretty thick, but let's leave it on lowest heat right there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our plate. Oh, this plate got some crap on it. Let's get another plate. Be right back. And there we go. We'll put some nice generous amount of chips on this. I'm using On the Border Mexican Grill and Cantina Fiesta Dippin' Chips. So those are nice, kind of hold the stuff. And so our beef and our shrimp have been kind of cooling, by the by. They are pretty room temperature now. But we throw them on these chips, and then we'll slather them with nice hot nacho cheese sauce. Hopefully not spill it everywhere in the process. Should be a rousing success. Dang, looks like I got it on a quarter serving and still been good. And there you have it. There you have it, folks. Nachos. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's put some ice cubes in the lemonade, if it'll let me. Ooh. Can't put any more, it'll start overflowing. And look at that. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that good? All right, we'll hand it off to the judges. How's it look? Good, looks great. Okay, sweet. So with that, we will have to reset. I will be right back, do a BRB, so that I can clean up some of my area. I'm going to have to dump out some of the extra cheese into another container. But yes, I will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I'm sorry, I realized I just did that clap. I'm sorry if that startled anyone. We just came back. Anyway, so we're back for round 2. We're making more lemonade, this time with blackberries. So I'm a fool. I got 7 lemons. I was supposed to do 3.5. So now, but I did all 4 lemons. So now we've got 3 lemons, but whatever. I'll juice 3 lemons worth, and we'll go from there. Because at this point, I make such a mess when I do these streams. I don't even care. Sometimes have a package, just throw it on the floor because it's whatever. I have to clean up a lot afterwards anyway. All right. So again, when you're cutting your lemons, make sure that your fingers are very much out of the way. I like to arch, my fingers over like this, and then put the knife in sideways and go that way. 1. So finger over, knife here. I know an aerial shot is probably the best to see that, but whatever. You get the picture. And then there we go. Ta-da. Okay, so we have 6 halves of lemonade. Hey, Harlequin, welcome in. You just came in at a great time. I just started making my second... Okay, I should probably stop waving this knife around. I just started making my second batch. We are making blackberry lemonade this time around, and shrimp and beef nachos. So hang around. It's going to be good. I actually planned this time. Look at that. So if you don't have a lemon juicer, you can squeeze it like this. Squeeze it and then have it just drip down, and then kind of roll it between your fingers. I do have a lemon juicer. So what you want to do is press down and rotate. Down and rotate. Now it has these ribs on here, and those are also made to help you juice. So you can squeeze it to the side. You can just look right down my elbow. Boom. Can't see anything. Squeeze it to the side. Make sure you're getting everything. Maybe roll it around a bit. Really get all of the everything. Balloons Tower Defense 6. Interesting. Whoop. Frick. Popped out the back. But this is nice and clean. You see that all the pulp is gone? And then this is the second one. We got 6 of these, 5 more to go. Whoop. I'm getting lemon juice on my fingers here. Squish this out. Put that there. Squish that in. There we go. Going with number 4. Make sure you're getting this nice and around. One thing you can do with these lemon halves is you put them in the disposal, a garbage disposal, and let it grind up. It can make it smell nice and help, the acid helps a little bit to try to clean stuff up too. My wrist is getting sore. My upper arm's getting sore. This is not a usual motion that people do. Squish. You want to get a nice amount of juice. Found this 3 lemons will make about a glass of lemonade. You're eating 3 lemons. There we go. This does have like a strainer aspect to it. It's kind of crappy, not gonna lie. Like it gets clogged up. Like they're kind of big, so they let all the lemon pulp through, but they're also small enough to get clogged up. So that kind of is a big ol' oof. You gotta stick your finger in there and unclog it. If I had like, you might want to chuck it in the sink or something in between each one if you really wanted to do this long term, so you're not wasting any, you're not wasting any juice while trying to juice all these things. All right, that's good. And then we'll get our. Let me rinse this out. I have one update available. I don't care. Rinse our hands off here. Got sticky lemon juice on our hands. And then we'll get our strainer right here. And we'll pour all the stuff, all the juice out into the strainer. And that should help get most of the pulp that still slipped through the cracks here. We'll let that drain a bit. Use our spoon to stir it around, encourage all that pulp to not block it up. There we go. And we'll just compost that. Splorp. Rinse all this off. All right, and then we've got this amount of lemon juice in there. Now, that's not a lot of lemon juice itself, of course. If I were to just drink this as juice, yeah, would not be good. But we're going to add some sugar, bada bing, and some water, bada boom, until it tastes like lemonade. Now, I really would, follow a recipe for this. But whenever I do a recipe, it just says, oh, put this much sugar in, this much lemon juice, this much water. That I don't have exact amounts of lemon juice, so it's hard for me to do that. And it always just says, oh, and then add sugar and water to taste. And it's like, okay, well, it's not really helpful. So I add a decent amount. You don't want to go too crazy because, like, this is all the lemon juice you got, right? You don't want to go too crazy adding sugar and water. You don't want to drown out the lemon. So you want to add, what you think is less than the amount. Maybe 2/3 of the amount you would think it would do of sugar and water, and then go from there. So yeah, that is. Ooh, did I add too much water? I don't think I did. Let's stir that up a little bit more. Make sure I didn't get just a watery bit. That's getting there. Maybe a little bit more sugar, and then I think we can call that. Just a giant chunk of sugar that just came with it. A little bit more, and then we can just say, okay, I think that's it. We'll mix that up, give it a little taste, and then if it's good, we'll stop there. That's good. Good, good, good. Give it more stir, make sure everything's all dissolved. It's kind of rough because if it's too sour, you got to add more sugar, and if it's too lemony, you have to add more water. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish lemon flavor versus sour. Yeah. So we're gonna try a little bit something new. I'm gonna try blackberries. Blackberries. So we tried raspberries last time. Raspberries is kind of a classic flavor of raspberry lemonade, right? I'd say of all lemonades, it's strawberry lemonade and raspberry lemonade. It's the one I hear about the most. I'm gonna rinse these off real quick. I'll be right back. All right, blackberries are all right. I think I prefer raspberries over them. I'm not a huge fan of either berry. They're fine. I'll go blackberry. Black raspberries, though, I like those. Yeah, so they just have like the bitter aftertaste that I'm not a huge fan of, and I'm wondering if that's because the stems are often included. But I'm gonna use this masher my dad got. I don't know where it came from or what its intended use is for. We'll put some in here. And there we go. We'll mash some up. Squish them all up in there. It's like very strange. Like it's got this like wire that like mashes the big bits up, and then you squish it down. It's like spring loaded, and then mashes the slightly mashed stuff up. Seems to work okay though. So whatever. Hopefully the bitterness gets kind of counteracted by the sugar in the lemonade. It should be mashed up enough, I think. Methinks. So I'm not just going to add the seeds and all to the... I'm going to add the goo. Come on, goo. Get on out there. We're going to add all this goo above. And we're just going to use a spoon to kind of squish them in there. You squish all the pulp against the edge. You want to get all the juice down in there. There we go. Squish, squoosh, squash. And the object is just to squish it in there. If you have a cheesecloth, that works too. You can just put it in a cheesecloth. It's like this cloth with holes in it. It's food grade, and you squeeze it. You can squeeze it through. Or another thing you can do is just like sit it in the in the lemonade and let it soak. You know, if you really want to get fancy, let it soak overnight because you don't want the seeds and stuff in there. All right, that's probably good enough. Yeah, we'll see. The other one, the raspberry lemonade, had a really nice deep red hue to it. Like it looked really appetizing. We'll just mix this up. That's looking pretty good. Let's grab my glass here. And then there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Let me show you. Let me give you the big camera. Yeah, look at, doesn't that look nice? Nice deep purple hue up here as well. Let's give a little taste. I'll save the majority of it for my actual food, but I don't think I like that as much as I like the raspberry lemonade, but I definitely don't dislike it. It's good stuff. So I'll put that aside. I'll finish the entire thing when I'm done with all of it, and I'll eat it all at once. So we'll put a couple blackberries in there, just to make it fancy, you know. So I'm gonna set this off to the side so I don't actually knock it over because I absolutely will knock it over accidentally if I don't. See that? That is good stuff indeed. Okay, so on to, we can get all this crud out of the way. We're done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this and that. Get all this crud out of the way. Put all that crud away. And just flip this over for slicing the beef. Okay. Where'd my steak knife go? I cleaned it. I did clean it. Be right back. Okay. I had to clean all this stuff in between because the small ones work the best for my purposes right here. All right. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the beef. So, one of the feedbacks I got from my father after he ate it was that we should probably be cutting this lengthwise into thinner strips. That would most likely work better than cutting it widthwise to make thicker chunks. So, cord was caught. Let's slice down the street here, down the long way. course, it's harder to cut it. It's more jiggly. It's harder to get purchase. Maybe, you know what? Hold up. There we go. So I figured it's probably going to be easier to just use kitchen scissors. Pick that up. Might be. We'll see. There we go. That's probably too long of a boy. So this is just stir fry beef. This lot here is like $2.50, something like that. It's not super duper expensive, but not super duper cheap either. Just went to the local Meijer. If you're a Midwesterner, you're a big fan of Meijer, I know. It's a local grocery store chain. It's bigger. It's better than Walmart, in my humble opinion. Just be careful not to get your fingers sliced. What I'm doing to prevent that is I'm grabbing it like this, and then putting the scissors next to me. That way, there's no chance that my fingers are in the way of the blade. Even if I slip, it's still not going to cut me. All right, so I think that's pretty good. All right. Of course, we got to, before I wash my hands, you want to treat raw meat like poison, right? Like you're working with poison. You don't want it to touch anything else. You don't want to touch anything else with it. Your nose, your eyes, your face, any other food. You do not want to contaminate the other food that you have. So, I should have put this in the refrigerator, as soon as I got it from the store, but I didn't. So I thawed them out in a bowl with cold water. Just let them sit there. You want to make sure you pat them dry, because you don't want water watering down your garlic butter stuff, All right, so let's see here. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of butter in the pan. Plop. Put it on low heat. And then we're going to, when that melts, we're going to squish some garlic in there. Now, this is a garlic press. You put the garlic in there. Oh, it pops it all out. And then you squish it in. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take a clove of garlic. This is kind of like 2 small cloves. So I'm taking them, together. And you want to peel it because, after all, garlic's like ogres. It has layers. So you want to get all the dry layers off, if at all possible. That'll help the juicy, garlicky layers to bleed through. So you want to get all the dry stuff off, because else it'll be all the good garlic juice will be trapped in there, and you don't want that. Krusty Krab on there, garlic juice trapped in there. There we go. Take that around, and then we can put our garlic clove, or 2 half cloves, 2 mini cloves, in the press and just squish it on in there. Sploosh! Sploosh! Squish it there. We can take our spatula, our rubber scraper, and rubber scrape it off. Hey, put it directly over heat. That'd probably help. There we go. It's starting to bubble. Let's put our shrimp in there. Now, shrimp is interesting. Usually with meat like this raw beef here, starts out raw and pink red, and then when it cooks, it turns brown or gray. Shrimp is the opposite. See, it's like turns out this like pale gray crud, yucky color. It's gonna turn pinkish as we cook it. So just casually mixing around, trying to flip them over as well, so both sides get cooked fully. We're just stirring it on like medium to low heat, nice and casual. We want all the garlic and butter to kind of fry into the into the shrimp. I wonder whether if a garlic clove press would be handy to like juice strawberries or something, like a big version of it. Like maybe probably pulp strawberries better. The shrimp start. I saw someone thing that said the shrimp are cooked properly when they're shaped like a C, but they're overcooked when they're shaped like an O. I don't know. I've run into tons of shrimp that are cooked like this. They're nice and O. Maybe that's for like the big ones, and the small ones curl up more quickly. Mix it all up. Yeah, I might have not have gotten all the water off that I should have. Here it's like you can see it's kind of like milky. I don't know if that's the case, or if it's just like the butter or the juice from the shrimp. I'm not sure how it compared to like the other part, but you really want it to be like frying. A lot of like the butter is frying and sticking to the shrimp, not the butter is kind of like floating and boiling the shrimp. So that's looking pretty cooked. Let's take this off the heat real quick, and then we'll... Nope. Oh, shoot. I was about to make a fatal mistake. That's the plate I used to put the raw shrimp. You do not want to put your cooked meat onto the raw plate that you put them on. A lot of people will do, like, at a barbecue, they'll have, like, hamburger, ground beef, patties. They'll put them on a plate. They'll fry it up, right? And then they'll turn around or grill it up, rather. And then they'll take the patty, and then they'll put the patty right back onto the plate where they had the ground beef. You do not want to do that, because that gets all the germ, like any bacteria, especially with raw beef. Raw beef, any bacteria that's in raw beef, it's all ground up and around, or in ground raw beef, gross stuff. So you want to make sure that you have two plates. Like, if you want to go out with two plates, one with them on top, and then once you throw them all on, switch the plates around so that the clean one is now on top. And then you can set it out like that. So here I've cooked them more into strips than chunks. Hopefully that should make it more, like, easy to scoop and stuff. We'll let that keep frying for a bit. I'm going to go grab a plate. Sorry, I just bumped the mic. All right, back. Make sure you're mixing it all up. Probably take care of this cutting board. So I'll make sure cooking this. Normally I'd be adding salt and pepper to this if it was any other dish, but between the salted butter and the salted cheese in the nacho cheese sauce, you'll be just fine without salting it. There we go. Nice and gray. Nice and fried. Don't want to cook it too much through. I like my beef medium rare in general. Okay. Now let's try the cheese sauce again. Last time we made gluten-free cheese sauce, and we had some left over. So I'm curious, especially in the future, if I get some more and heat them back up, how different they'll taste. But first things first, we're gonna have to grate the cheese. Now, last time I made this, not today, like the first time I made this. Well, the first time I ever made it, I did something wrong, did it on too high heat or something like that, and it all separated, and it was just like a pile of cheese floating in butter. I don't know what I did, if I used a crappy recipe or what. That was nasty. But last time I did it was very thick, and I used shredded cheese to make it, and I'm wondering, pre-shredded cheese rather. And they said that to avoid that, because when they process shredded cheese, they coat it with something that's an anti-clumping agent. And the anti-clumping agent, prevents it from sticking all together. But I wouldn't be surprised if it also acts as a thickening agent. So I'm wondering if that's why it was super thick, and it also tasted like flour. So I'm wondering if that did that too. Well, my father said it tastes like cheese sauce. I didn't really sneak a taste of the last one. So we'll see. We'll see how this does. Okay, and we aren't making this. We aren't shredding this cheese for aesthetic purposes. We're shredding it so that it can mix in well. So we don't need to worry about, you know, it all being shredded nicely. I just take the last chunk, and so I don't skin my knuckles trying to, trying to grate the last bit. I'll just tear it up by hand. It's good enough that way. Okay, so back to the recipe. We are making a half batch. So 1 tablespoon of butter. Put that on a medium to low heat. And we're going to melt that, and then we're going to whisk in. Gotta grab my whisk. We're going to whisk in a tablespoon of flour, regular flour, which I have right here, all-purpose flour. Just the general all-purpose flour you find in the grocery store. Come on. So apparently the cayenne was not tasteable. So I'm not going to bother this time. I don't really like the spice. So we're going to whisk in flour, a tablespoon of flour. And then we're going to cook for 1 to 2 minutes. It kind of makes me nervous when it all sticks to the bottom like this. I'm like, is this enough? Whoa. Whoa. For a couple minutes. Mostly you just want to scrape it off the bottom, prevent it from sticking. Because this does seem like a small amount, but once we add the milk and the cheese to it, it's gonna grow in volume pretty quick. All right, that's been 2 minutes. So now what we're going to do is slowly add a half a cup. The spoonful of flour makes the sauce go thick. You tried. That's a okay reference. Okay joke. Oh shoot. Just poured some milk on the floor like an idiot. Guess what happens when you put the milk on the floor? Have to clean that up later. Ah, come on. Are you kidding me? I managed to catch the whole cup on the handle of the pot, the saucepan. So it tilted it, and then I dropped it. So I just poured milk all over like the bottom of the range. So that's great. Gonna have to clean that up later. You can always add milk later. Flour, milk. We're gonna bring this to a simmer. So you want it all nice and evenly distributed. It's starting to simmer. All right, now we're gonna turn all the way to heat all the way to low, all the way down, without turning it off. We're gonna start putting this stuff in, putting the cheese in. Just start melting it in there. Just dump that cheese in. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really thick. Probably because I poured half the milk all over the floor. Do-do-do-do. Gotta thin that down. You want it to be nice and thin. And don't stir too quickly when you start thinning it down. Da-da-da. Okay, that's nice. That looks good. So we're gonna keep that on the lowest heat possible. Keep that to keep it nice and warm. And then so I got these scoopy hold on. I got milk all over the floor. I gotta do something about it before it soaks into the floorboards. I got these scoopy chips. Those work pretty well for nachos, I think. You just kind of pour them on and make sure all the scoops are facing up so that it can catch the nacho cheese and stuff. So you don't need to. You can use the regular tortilla chips. Oh! Also, unfortunately, I repeat, we are not making our own tortilla chips from scratch. I apologize. Okay, what order do I want to do this in? Let's put all the beef with the beef tips. Boom. There we go. That's all the beef and the shrimp together. You have a tortilla maker? Maybe someday. Can't really make scoop chips with that, can you? All right. We're going to load this plate up. Load her up with chips. So you kind of want to make sure that the scoops are up as much as possible and they're nice distribution amongst that. And then we'll take our meats, our shrimp, and our beef. And we'll spread that all along there. And our shrimp, our nice garlicky shrimp. Oh boy, that's a lot. I think I gave myself more beef than I gave my father. I didn't split it evenly, I guess. All right. So now we'll just pour the sauce on. Nice and evenly coat it. Take your time. I'm not going to do all of it because that would be a lot. Look at that. Make sure to turn your heat off, of course. Look at that. Oh, doesn't that look nice? Okay, so now is the point of the stream where we go into chat mode. I will be right back. We'll get a word from our sponsor, and then we'll resume, and we'll have a little chat, and we'll eat. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Welcome back. Is the droid cam not? Hold up. Properties, deactivate, activate. Nice. Hold on, folks. Let's get that cam back. Stop. Do that. Open it back up. Start. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see how it. Let's get a piece that has beef, cheese, and shrimp on it. You like shrimp, Captain Meltros? Not a fan? I think it tastes great. Oh my goodness, that's good stuff. Ah. I haven't had a lot of seafood. I think I've only had crab in passing. I've never had lobster. Of course, that's like a higher end food. I'd like to someday, even if it's just a little bit. Hey, Lauren, welcome in. Doing well. You just caught the tail end. Usually I stream these on Sundays, but I have something tomorrow, so Saturday we are eating. We're doing the eat and chat part of stream. Yeah, I'm doing well. It went well. We made two rounds. We made raspberry lemonade and gluten free nachos the first time around, and then this time we're making we made blackberry lemonade and gluten full nachos because the cheese sauce takes gluten. Yep, we got sorry. We got garlic butter sautéed shrimp and beef. Yeah, both of them sautéed in garlic butter and homemade nacho cheese sauce. So I'm glad it all came together for stream. Well, it was fun. How about you, Lauren? How are you doing? Glad to see you pop in. For context for everybody else, I just happened to stumble across Lauren streaming Stardew one day, so if you're looking for more Stardew streamers, feel free to go check her out. Doing good. Just made tacos. Well, we're eating about the same part of the world. I need to set up some sort of a shout out command. But if anyone doesn't know, you can click on, if you're on desktop at least, you can click on someone's face, their name, and it'll bring you when their account was created, how long they've been following, if they are following, and a link to their page. It doesn't taste too blackberry-y, but the blackberry taste isn't is it's there and it's welcome. Because the thing I don't like about blackberries, they have this bitter aftertaste. Generally speaking, cheese sauce came out well. I made cheese sauce before, but I think my problem was I used shredded cheese, and they said you wanted to avoid that because they do cover it with a kind of you know non-stick agent so it doesn't clump up. So that made it really thick, kind of unappealing. I even added extra milk to it to try to fix it, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like how it tastes normally, but then it just usually leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. And I don't know if it's like, because blackberries typically have like the core in the center. Like, and sometimes you get blackberries with a little bit of stem left over. And I'm wondering if that's what that is. Like the taste is coming from, but I don't know. Yeah, I was asking Chad, I was like, all right, what kind of lemonade should I do? Because I don't want to just make lemonade, right? It's a stream. I want to try something new. And like people said strawberry, someone said raspberry, and I'm like, okay, those are standard. Someone said muddled mint, and I was like, ooh, that sounds nice. But unfortunately, I might want to try that later if I'm still in the States later, like in the summer or whatnot. Because it does grow wild around, mint does grow wild around where I live. I think it'd be really cool if I used mint that I, foraged myself. Ugh. So we went to the store and I was like, I saw the raspberries there, and I was like, strawberry lemonade, very classic. I don't want to do it. It's been done before. And then so I went and got raspberries, and they were right next to the blackberries, and I was like, so this here's the blackberry. First time we went did raspberry. Because it's always fun to get up and do something IRL instead of just sitting in a recliner all day playing a video game. Granted, I do like that. I like sitting in a recliner all day. Which one do I like better? I think I do prefer um, the raspberry. I think it is classic for a reason, or more well known for a reason. I don't know if it's because I needed to add more of the juice or what. Like it does make I do like what the it stuck to my elbow. So I think raspberry lemonade I like the best, then blackberry, and then regular lemonade. So it is better than regular lemonade. It is better, but just not as good as raspberry. And we do have some requests lined up, but yeah, raspberries are sweeter. Blackberries are tartar, I believe, are bitterer. If you want to know ahead of time what I'll be cooking and what you'll need if you want to cook along, usually it's Sundays. It's Saturday today because I have something tomorrow going on. At least I think I do. But if you want to follow along and you want the recipe, feel free to join the Discord. Make sure you just read the rules and join and all that good stuff if you're not already. And then, yeah, you can check. There's a cooking channel that I try to post the ingredients whenever I get around to figuring out. You can also request that I make stuff. It has to be an appropriate length. The example I give is if you're going to ask me to do beef Wellington, forget it. That takes days. But feel free to request a recipe that either you like and you want to see me make, or see how I do, or you even if it's a recipe that you want to use me, and this is anyone in the chat, if you want to use me as your guinea pig to see if I can make the recipe and see if it's any good or not, I'm fine with that. Um, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a fork. I'm back. Of course, last week I didn't know what to make, so I did something last minute. I sent out the ingredients a day before, and I made Chex Mix and no bake oatmeal cookies. Which Chex Mix is kind of lame because you're using the Chex Mix, you're just mixing the other the actual mix packets. But whatever. And then the day after, I get 2 people with requests. I am so glad I didn't add any salt to the beef or the shrimp. This is so salty. I can't focus this better. There we go. That'll bring it in focus. It's a lot of cheese. Holy cow. Woo! And salty too. Cheese is pretty good. This is the first. I'm glad because this is the first time I successfully made cheese sauce, like nacho cheese. I made it one time, and I don't remember what I did wrong. Maybe I didn't add enough flour or something, and it was just kind of gross. But like melted cheese just floating in butter and milk or something. It was ugh. It was gross. And then last time I used the string cheese or the shredded cheese, and it was really thick. But I just used cheddar for this. I craft a block of cheddar, shredded it myself. It was not good. I was so sad. Yep. Now I know the technique. Well, the first time I ever tried to make a cheese sauce, I was trying to make garlic parmesan sauce for wings, and I had something similar. I followed the recipe, but it was just melted parmesan floating in butter basically. And I tried putting it, and it was just gross. And I was like, come on, what? Parmesan's harder because it's hard to melt. It's not a really melty cheese. Cheddar is. Yeah, I think I overdid it on the cheese sauce here. Put a little too much. Took away my ability to actually scoop. Anybody have anything off the top of their head they'd like to see me try to take a crack at? I think so far we had a suggestion for like orange chicken. That might be fun trying to make orange chicken. Orange. What was it? Let me pull up the Discord. Let's go into cooking whoopie pies, which is like a brownie with frosting sandwich. Um, yes, and then we had a suggestion for cheese quesadillas with chips and homemade salsa. So that would be. I might not make that next week because we just did Mexican this week, but or a version thereof. Pumpkin bars. That's good. Had a bunch of UK or European viewers. I think they're all from the UK making fun of me once. A mojito? What's that? Is that a cocktail? Sounds like a cocktail. The real mojito is a traditional Cuban highball. Unfortunately, I am a teetotaler. I do very much avoid alcohol. Um, yeah, yeah, it's a cocktail. So I would not be making that. Unfortunately, that and I have a 16 plus audience, and I wouldn't be like, haha. So for all of you that are 5 year, up to 5 years under the you make them without alcohol. I can make egg. I want to make eggnog. That'd be cool. White rum, sugar, lime juice, soda water, and mint. Do you just omit the white rum? Sugar, lime juice, soda water, and mint. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I would want to make, non-alcoholic eggnog. That's good. Because that would actually revolve cooking. Because this would just is just mix, you know, what it be. Okay, you'd have to process squeeze the limes. Like for this one, for the lemon juice or lemonade, I squeezed the limes myself or lemons myself. I didn't want to just say, oh, add some lemon juice because I want to try to not pad the runtime, but I don't want it to last too long, but I don't want to last too short. So if I can squeeze the lemons myself, that's something really easy. That's nice to show, and I'm actually making it. I'm not just throw some lemon juice in there. All right, finish the last bit up here. Why is my nose running? I didn't even add spice. They said to add cayenne pepper to this. I was like, nah, I don't want to. But yeah, that's a lot of cheese. My favorite? God, maybe my first one. It's a dish that I've made a fair amount, and I like how it comes together. It's sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns with toast. You dip the toast in the grilled toast, and you dip that in the yolk, the runny yolk, and maple bacon. That was a good one. That was the first one I ever did. That was a good stream. I've made hmm, last week was Chex Mix and no bake oatmeal cookies, peanut butter chocolate no bake. The week before was monkey bread. It's a type of cinnamon roll type finger food, and pizza, maple bacon. Yeah, actually, maple bacon I enjoy just about as much as regular bacon. I don't say I like it more, but I can't say I like it less. Either way. That was yeah. What if some other ones? Oh, let's pull up the Discord. Like I said, y'all, if you're not in the Discord already and you got one, definitely join it. It's like a haven for Carl info. Um, eggs. But we made egg. My mother's birthday. We made eggs Benedict for my mother. That was cool. I had her on, and she told me how to make it. We made eggs. Just egg. Yeah, just eggs Benedict. And then coconut macaroons and loaded fries. That was a good one. Yep, the birthday stream. Yeah, those are all of them. Those are all of them. I think the sunny side up eggs ones. Yeah, as a dish was my favorite. Of course, cooking with my mom was fun. I screwed up the hollandaise sauce though when I made it, so oops. I can't say that was my favorite in terms of success. Also, another shameless plug. When I remember, I post pictures. I did remember this time to take pictures. I post pictures of the food I make and stuff. So if you want to go there, I don't spam my Instagram with random pictures of myself every day and random clips. So it's a nice chill way to consume Carl the Pumpkin Man content. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. I have finished with the food. I don't think we're gonna go on a raid today, and I will. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the kitchen to clean up. I'm afraid to go back there. Lots of spillage, lots of dirty dishes, lots of crap. I am very much full. Thank you everybody for coming out. It's outro time. If you are not following and you like what you saw, you can feel free to follow to be notified of when I go live in the future. Next scheduled stream is Monday at 1 p.m. noon. We are playing more Stardew Valley. If you are following and you would like to check out my other social media, if you're on desktop, you can find it in the description below. But if you're on mobile, you can type exclamation point, whatever the platform is, and my bot will give you the link if I have it. If you are following and you would like to support the stream other than just how you are now and watching, feel free to subscribe. It's free if you link your account to an Amazon Prime account. More info in my Discord, of course. Thank you, Lauren. Great rest of your weekend as well. But yeah, stay safe out there, folks. Get boosted as soon as you're able to if you are not already boosted. I am. Have been for a while now. If you are not boosted, don't leave your house unless you need to. But if you do need to leave your house and you're not boosted, make sure you wear a mask, stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and everybody wash your hands often. Bye.